It was the hard truth. We messed up that day.
It was. There we go.
See, that's your hard truth story. When we interview you guys, we're going to ask you your hard truth
Oh,
story.
sweet. Okay.
That's it right there.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Indiana Success Happy Hour. Brian Quinlan here from Daniel's Real Estate.
Brad Niccum from Nest Mortgage Group and Tasting Tequila with Brad.
Forgot. Move me to Indy on YouTube, and you'll notice we have another guest today. Sir, tell the folks who you are.
I'm Jeff McCabe from Hard Truth down in beautiful Brown County, Indiana.
Fantastic. Now, we had Brian, your master distiller, on a couple weeks ago, and now here you are, founder of Hard Truth, yes?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Like I said, the good looking one. Right? We've got a smart one, a quiet one, hard-working one, and a good-looking one.
You know, we're gonna have to agree with you because we haven't actually seen any of the other ones. So
Right.
we're gonna just
I have.
I'm gonna
Might
take
as well
the
go
hard
with
truth
it.
on that one.
Right.
All right, Brad. Velour, I see over here.
Yeah, I wanted to finish this off. This is the high proof batch 2 that just came out, and it is officially sold out at the importer and brand level. So some distributors still have it. You will still find it on some store shelves, but it is disappearing quickly. And once it's gone, it's gone. So if you can find this bad boy, it is in some places here in Indianapolis and other places around the state. So go to Velour, drinkvelour.com to find it. But it's a fantastic. We've had Velour on here many times.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We're going to chase this with some whiskey at about halfway point.
Fantastic. I have a Quaff ON beer. Shocking, from Hard Truth. Are they technically separate companies?
They are the same ownership.
Okay.
Same ownership. Same guys started Quaff On back actually 17 years ago.
Oh, hot
If you
diggity.
believe
wow.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is one of my favorite Quaff ON beers, and I do like several of them. The strawberry blonde, super good, along with the 6-foot blonde. My blonde happens to be about 5'7", but close enough. And yeah, thanks for bringing this in today.
You know, we used to keep a step stool at the bar at the first place in Nashville, the little brew pub.
Yeah.
Because women would come in and they say, well, I'm not 6 feet tall. We just have them step up.
There you go.
That's a great idea. All right. And you're drinking Squirt today.
I am.
It's got a long drive back to Nashville.
Started that when I was a kid.
All right.
Squirt's phenomenal. It's one of my go-tos for sure.
I just wish when you're driving between here and New Mexico, every gas station had it.
Yeah.
They don't.
I
They
bet
don't
it's hard
anymore?
to find.
No, but now, you know, there's, what is that Mexican one I like? Tropical.
There's the what's it called in Mexico? It starts with the F.
Fanta?
Fantas.
I think it might be Fanta.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't get them here, but there's a real Mexican Squirt that has real sugar in it.
Love that.
And they're coming around now. So you're starting to find them out. So some of the Mexican grocery stores will have them.
Right.
So that's going to be my next search, is that real sugar.
I like that.
Awesome.
Tastes better.
All right. So, Jeff, you and I met absolutely on a whim. My wife and I were down enjoying, the Nashville area, checking out the distillery, which was our second or third time there, which is a great place.
Right.
And we sat at the bar to have dinner. We happened to be sitting next to you and your colleagues, and I'm going to throw Stephanie out there. And she was like, okay, these guys over here are talking like they're important. She says, I think you need, so we asked the bartender, and she goes, yeah, that's Jeff. And as Brian said,
I think Brian and Jim.
there you go.
Right.
And so struck up a conversation, and here we are. So thank you for coming. I know it's not necessarily a short trip from where you are, but we appreciate you being here.
So it gave me a chance to stop at our place at Bottle Works.
Oh, yeah.
Garage. You know, we've got a Hard Truth bar there. So it's good to pop my head in and help them dust off some of the bottles up in those shelves up there that are too high to reach, and say hi to everybody. So it worked out great.
Awesome.
I stop in there every time I'm at Bottle Works, and there's a drink that they make with your toasted coconut rum.
So good.
I mean, I can drink that out of the bottle anyway, but I go ahead and have them make the drink out of it. It's delicious.
Do you
They
know what
make
the drink
a couple Get Lost, maybe.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, or Lost in the Woods.
No, that's it. Lost in the Woods. Yeah.
It's really popular. You know, that's the only bar we have that's only a bar,
Mhm.
and it's fantastic because it's right there at where everybody who's from somewhere else comes
Right.
in Indianapolis. If it's
Mhm.
the Final Four, if it's the
Yeah.
NFL Combine, whatever, we get more new fans from that place than you can
I
shake a
bet.
stick at.
And you
It's
don't have
great.
to make food.
That's really
It's a bonus.
I love the restaurants, but
Yeah.
uh, that's a blessing, right?
Absolutely.
Well, I was told the best way to make $1 million with a restaurant is to start out with 2.
Yeah, I wish somebody had told me that 17 years ago. Yeah.
All right, so let's get a little background on you. Maybe before Hard Truth, before Quaff On, any of that. How'd you get where you are?
How far back do you want to go?
Uh,
I'll do a quick tour. I graduated from school at Annapolis
Okay.
and went from there to fly helicopters in the Navy. Had a great time doing that. I'm really excited about some of the things that are happening in the Middle East right now because I'm actually old enough that when I was in flight school, the Shah, the Shah that regime fell,
Mhm.
and all the Iranian pilots who were in my class had to go immediately back. And then I went, as soon as I got out of flight school, I was in the Middle East, right, on an
Oh, wow.
aircraft carrier.
Wow.
And, that was a tough time to be out there doing that stuff. And,
Sure.
and to see 47 years later, things kind of come around and maybe we have a chance for peace in the Middle East.
That would be nice.
It actually makes me happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty
Yeah.
incredible. So you flew helicopters?
I did. Did.
Wow.
Flew H-3s. And then quickly after that, came back here to Indiana. Flew helicopters in the Guard,
Okay.
Indiana Guard. That's where I met Jim Dunbar, who's one of our partners. Didn't stay in Indiana very long though. So after Desert Shield, I went to France.
Hmm.
Worked for a company called Turbo Mecha that makes really good helicopter engines, and
Cool.
I've just done a bunch of different things. I ended up at American Express. Had a great run at American Express. Uh, Ran a big part of the corporate card business.
I remember you. You were the guy that called me and asked me to leave home without it because my credit was so bad.
Well, I was the guy who had the form letter with my signature printed on it and said, "Please pay your bill."
Yeah, I probably got one. No, I'm kidding. I never was able
Yeah.
to even get an American Express back then.
Yeah. The most interesting card story I have is I ran part of the card business, and I got my assistant came into the office one day and she said, "There's a baseball player that wants a black card," and a lot of people don't even know there's an American
Yeah.
Express black card.
Yes.
It's like really cool, right? And she said, "He really wants it." I said, "What's his name?" And she said, "Derek Jeter."
All right.
And I said, "Who's he?"
Yeah.
Right? Because
I would have been the same
he
way.
was a rookie.
Oh,
Right?
wow.
And he got on the phone with me. He said, "Mr. McCabe, I really like a black card." He said, "All my friends on the team have them." And, we worked it out. He got his black card. Of course,
Wow.
but I had no idea who he was when I called.
That's
Very
super
polite
cool.
when he was asking for the card.
I bet.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Is the black card still around?
Oh yeah.
So what do you have to do to qualify for the black card?
I think you have to spend. It used to be, at one point it was $150,000 a year on the card. Now I think it's $250,000.
Hmm.
Wow.
I'm going to be a little short.
Yeah.
Did I see Derek Jeter in a commercial for an American Express black card in the last?
I don't
few
know.
years?
I don't know.
I
After American Express, I came back here to Indiana. We came back for good. That was 2003. After we got everything taken care of after 9/11,
Mhm.
I decided I had enough of that, and that's when we started doing some of the things we're doing now.
So
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's an odd road from all of that to starting a beverage company.
Yeah.
What made you go this route?
Well, we moved to Brown County, and
From New York City to Brown County?
well, actually, I had an office in New York City. I had one in Atlanta, and I had the family living in Atlanta.
Okay.
You know,
That is a
quality.
a change of life.
Yeah, big deal. And actually, my son Ian, who works in the business, you may have met him, was in the 8th grade, and
Okay.
my wife and I said, "Ian, do you want to play football here in Atlanta at Big Centennial High School, or do you want to go to Brown County?" He says, "Well, if I go to Brown County, I can play football and I can be in theater.
Cool.
He wanted to do everything.
Okay.
So we moved to Brand Academy.
All right.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Nifty.
Small school. You can do a lot of things. If you're a kid, you're not stuck in one track.
What school district is that?
That's Brown County.
Is Brown County? Because I know the other one's Nineveh Jackson.
Yeah, that's just north. Yeah.
Yeah. They always cancel school.
Well,
Like that's what you see
we
on the
haven't
news
had
all the
school
time.
this week because of the rain.
Oh,
Because of rain?
I imagine.
Yeah, flooded roads.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then if there's ice, the school buses can't go up.
Absolutely.
Remember when we were kids though, they'd be like swim across. Go
Well,
get
they
the
say
bus.
walk. My mom would say
So
walk
we'll
to
walk
school.
to school, yeah. Like I just remember it. They didn't really care about us as kids.
Not as much. I remember walking to school, when I was 6 years old.
I walked to
Right.
kindergarten.
As
You
did
know, it
I.
was just like, and then I got whacked and throwing snowballs at the teacher, and I had to walk home and tell my parents.
Well, and see, because of that experience, you probably never would throw a snowball at a police officer in New York City.
I would not throw a snowball at a police officer in New York City. I would like to say that one paddling in the kindergarten would, I then straightened up, but that wasn't the case. I got paddled all the way until they could kick me out.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. All right.
I don't get paddled now.
That's good. That's good. So I guess then, so you moved to Nashville. And was it moving to Nashville with the intention of starting Hard Truth, or did that kind of evolve when you were there?
Well, I really didn't worry about what I was going to do. I really wanted to, because we had moved around a lot and that kind of thing. And my, my family put up with all that. And, part of that time, like I said, I worked over in Europe. And part of that time, we worked in Asia. This was more about what my family was going to do and how things were going to be for them. But pretty soon, I was on the board of a couple companies, and so I still got out and got to do my thing. And ultimately, I met Ed Ryan, who we talked about earlier, my partner, and he was the only guy who had a stock brokerage in town, and I invested some money with him, and then we started to buy some of the commercial property in Nashville. And the way this all got started was this was 2008. 2007 it started, but a bank had foreclosed on a really neat little restaurant, kind of a historic restaurant in Nashville called the Little Brown Jug. And we bought that in foreclosure from 2008 from a bank in Michigan. And we were just going to lease it to somebody who had a restaurant dream, who had $2 million, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And instead, my son-in-law, Tim, who is one of our partners, was brewing this great beer on the back porch of a bed and breakfast we owned. And he had a beer exchange. We thought, well, there's no brew pub in Nashville, so why don't we turn Tim loose on that?
Oh,
And
Quaff ON was born.
yeah. And why don't we please ourselves? Quaff ON in Big Woods.
Yeah.
Right? Big Woods restaurant.
Uh-huh.
So, we thought we'd please ourselves, and turned out we could please other people too. Right.
how do you think your time in the military shaped you for not only the jobs that you had, but then running a business today?
It's a really, really good question, Brad. I want to throw that out there.
Well, I can tell you, my experience at Annapolis, 4 years of having to make my bed every day. And
do you still make your bed today?
I do.
Okay.
Every day.
Carry on.
And my wife shakes her head. But, also being a major offender at Annapolis for 3 years, in terms of demerits and totals, and making my bed and then going out and marching with a M1 rifle, right? That kind of discipline helped me get and learning how not to get all those demerits was helpful. But seriously, that discipline is very helpful, and doing some of the things you have to do on active duty, you get a different kind of confidence in what's possible, right? Nowadays, the young people at not American Express, at Hard Truth and Quaff ON, we talk about unreasonable belief, right? I mean, to do some of the things you have to do in the military, you have to have an unreasonable belief that you can do them. But same's true to be an entrepreneur, right? You take risks that other people shouldn't take,
Or afraid to take.
yeah, or afraid to. It's not for everybody.
And every risk hasn't been a winner, I'm sure.
Like a lot of people, I say the same thing. I learn a lot more from my failures than my successes, right?
You know, the greatest line I was ever told is the best knowledge comes from a failure, as long as it's learning from somebody else's failure.
That sounds like something Charlie Munger would say, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to come up with the idea. You just have to do it better than the guy
There you go.
Yeah, make a better
who
mousetrap.
came up with it. Yeah.
All right. So the foreclosed restaurant you purchased turned into Big Woods and Quaff On.
Well, the beer was Big Woods at first,
Okay.
and we filed for the trademark for it and for Big Woods Brewing Company. And we could get the federal mark for restaurants, but we couldn't get it for beer because there was a guy up in Minnesota who had Big Wood.
Oh, okay.
And I went up to Minnesota to see him. I said, "Can we share that? Or can we make a deal?" And he said, "I've got the Big Wood, right?" So
he said, "Well, I beg to differ."
I'm not making that up.
Oh
right?
my gosh.
Just
No
like that
kidding.
joke. But anyway, so we went back and rethought it because we always thought we could do something with it that was worth having a federal trademark.
Yeah.
So we changed the name. And Quaff.
I was going to ask, where does that name come from?
Well, I studied Shakespeare at one point, and in every one of Shakespeare's plays, somebody quaffs, right? One of the great characters from Shakespeare's Falstaff.
Okay.
If you ever want to know where Falstaff came from as the name of the beer.
No kidding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Falstaff was this big
It's a great beer.
jolly
back in the day.
guy. Yeah. So quaff means to, and actually, since we're going to get into the nitty gritty,
Let's go.
Right?
Yeah.
The first written use of the word quaff was in the Canterbury Tales. Like,
Okay.
what was that, 1123 or something like that?
You're throwing on
Remember when I
knowledge we
said I
don't
got in
have.
trouble in school a lot?
Yeah. So it just means to drink heartily. What could
Okay.
be better?
Yeah, for sure.
Drink heartily.
Quaff On.
I
That's
quaff
awesome.
on all the time.
See?
Was the 6 Foot Blonde beer the first of the beers?
It was in the first group. Another one in the first group that I think it was the name, heard it was Possum Trot.
Okay.
People didn't drink Possum Trot.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, 6 Foot Blonde was one of the first. Busted Knuckle was, what I think was Tim's first big breakthrough because that's really a different beer.
That's the peanut butter one, right?
Well, now there's peanut butter Busted Knuckle. Before that, it was just this robust porter that actually did really well. Yeah.
Cool. They're very unique names. Any story behind like 6 Foot Blonde? Was it named after an actual 6 Foot Blonde that somebody knew?
So, do you want the true story?
As long as that doesn't have anything to do with the Epstein files.
No, nothing like that. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. My daughter Megan did a lot of the original beer art.
Cool.
And,
all right.
And a lot of the names came up from around this table. We would sit at and drink and throw out a name. And 6 Foot Blonde came from that. But then we were thinking about, and I should say, she modeled the 6 Foot Blonde that's still on the labels from the Bond Girls. Think about
I
that
totally see that.
broccoli
Yeah.
thing at the beginning of the movie. That's where that notion came from.
Ah, all right.
Right. And
your daughter drew that?
She drew that.
Cool.
And then we were trying to think of a T-shirt, what we'd put on a T-shirt that the bartenders could wear because it was popular right off bat. But we thought, what would be a cool T-shirt? So she did the art with like the label art on the front. Then I said, well, what do we put on the back for the bartenders? And Megan's quiet. She held up a bottle, and this was for the bartenders, right? So she said, I'd tap that. Right.
Perfect.
Right. And so we put that on the back so that when the bartender turned around, you'd see that.
Yeah.
Right. And this is the best part of the story. So then an article came out in the Indy Star where the writer was talking about how inappropriate the craft brewers around Indiana are. And they had a picture of our T-shirt.
Yeah.
Right. That was part of the article. Our sales blew up.
Oh,
yeah.
Blew up.
Yes.
And I called the writer up and I said, I got to thank you. And she said, for what? Right. And I said, you really helped our brand with that story.
And I've seen your picture, and it'd take 12 beers before I'd tap that. Thanks for calling.
Yeah. Yeah. Click. She hung up.
That's great.
Yeah. True story.
That's awesome.
The original restaurant you purchased, is it the one that's there on Main Street in Nashville, or is it the one that's on your hundreds of acre property?
It's in the alley behind the one on Main Street.
Oh, okay.
Right. It's a little place that only had 30 seats.
Okay.
And
is that still there?
Yeah, but now it's Moontown.
Okay. Yeah. I was curious if that was it.
We thought, we weren't using the building. We used it for catering, that kind of thing. It's a great kitchen. And we thought, well, why not bring some competition in for ourselves?
Cool.
We like, that's craft beer is all about that.
I like
right?
Moontown.
And so we did a deal with them.
That's cool.
Right.
So then, I guess I don't know where I want to go with this. Let's talk about the large property that's there. How did we get over there?
So we lusted for that property, the 325 acres that we're on, for a couple of years. And a lot of other people did too. And over several years, different people tried to sell the family trust that owned the core part, the 71 acres, on the idea of a golf course. They drew golf course plans and a subdivision and all that kind of stuff. And the family could never agree on selling it. So we just hung in there for a couple of years. And, while we were trying to get everybody lined up, we thought about what it would look like, right? We'd actually go up in the woods there, because it was all woods then. And we'd put little engineer flags out for where the tour center would be and that kind of stuff. And, we like to have fun with each other, a little drinking up there in the woods, and we'd move each other's flags, right? And that kind of thing, see if the other guy noticed. But took a couple of years, and then finally all 12 members of the family trust agreed on the same day. We got the 71 acres, and then folks around us, the donut part sold. So, so that's how we got it. But you have to, if you really want something, you got to hang in there, right? You can't cut short.
There you go. I'll leave it short.
Have you ever heard me tell that story before?
I'll be honest. No, I don't. I have not.
So back in the day when I worked with American Express, I hosted a golf school that was co-hosted by the world's greatest golfer of all time, Byron Nelson. Right? This is back in the 90s.
I thought you were going to say John Daly.
Yeah, well, that would be fun too.
Yeah, it would.
But so this is back in the 90s, and he was in his 80s.
Oh
right?
my gosh.
And anyway, I hosted after 2 years of hosting this thing. It was for like C-level executives, guests.
Wow.
One way to get a guy who's running a big corporation out for a few days is to have him go
learn from Byron Nelson.
Great, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm sitting there in Las Colinas in Texas, and after the second golf school, Byron and I were meeting to talk about the third one, and he said, Jeff, this year, why don't you give your golf spot to somebody else? And I said, sure. Well, what are you thinking? And he said, well, you're not going to get any better.
Well, that wasn't very nice.
I mean,
Thanks, Byron.
He said, you're the guy in the bar who shoots pool with these guys, and, you do your thing, but, instead of 7 guys, you get 8.
Right.
And so I love the way he thought. So we did. But then that third year, while we're watching, we had a pro for each guest.
Oh, wow.
From around the country, right? So the pros were always up first. They're out there on the putting green first. They're working. Byron and I are drinking coffee, watching the guys putt. And he said, Jeff, what do you see? And I said, well, they're missing a few putts. And he said, yeah, but what do you see? And I couldn't get the right answer. And he said, look, he said, watch Frank. And he said, these guys never putt short. And I said, right. And he said, if you putt short, you never had a chance.
Yeah.
If
never
you
up,
ever
never
remember anything from me, never putt short, putt long. If you're going to miss.
Wow.
If you putt short, you never had a chance.
There you go. Never up, never in.
That's like one of the great lessons.
That really is.
That's a lesson of life. Yeah. More than just golf. That's
don't putt short.
Yeah. That goes to, I always said, if you're going to fall down, fall forward.
Yeah.
Right. That's kind of the same mentality. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sorry you putted short so long, Brian.
Actually, a decent putter. All right. So you got the restaurant going, Quaff On's going. How does that evolve into Hard Truth?
Well, it was 2014 or so that we couldn't own a brewery and a distillery back then because the legislature, the law didn't allow it. So a bunch of folks got together and influenced the legislature to get the artisan distilling bill passed so that we could own a distillery and a brewery.
Oh, cool.
So, well, what else were we going to do, right?
Right.
We could do it, so why not do it?
Yeah.
But so we started out, bought a pilot system. We put it up on top of the second floor of that building that's got Big Woods Pizza in it. And Brian and another Smith, Call Smith, started creating recipes up there on that pilot system. And they did that for a couple of years while we built the big place.
Yeah. Cool.
Right. The cinnamon vodka and the toasted coconut rum, the white rum, the gin all came out the formula we use now, in those first 6 months.
Wow.
But we also did a lot of traveling during that time, and somebody we met in the beer business, the guys at Wilderness Trail also were mad scientists who owned a company called Firm Solutions. If you had a yeast problem in your brewery, they would fix it, right? And so we knew those guys. Not that we ever had a problem with our yeast,
Right.
but they started Wilderness Trails. They're one of the sweet mash pioneers. We're sweet mash distillers, and they helped us get started.
Wow.
We're talking about Hard Truth, and some was brought here. So
Yeah, we need to have some.
all right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. All right, we are
look at
back,
that.
and Hard Truth has entered the show. Sweet Mash Rye, courtesy of Jeff. Thanks for bringing this.
Sure.
And our friend Brian brought it last time as well. So we're hooked up here at our bars.
Which batch is this? Let's see. I don't have my glasses.
Oh,
so
boy.
you're gonna have to
Well,
get in here.
where am I looking?
Right over here.
It's batch number 13.
Okay, that's a good one.
Okay.
With sweet mash, every batch. One of the reasons that sour mash distillers sour mash is because that helps them get better consistency batch to batch, and our process is a little different. So we get great consistency, but we also get variation between batches that makes it really interesting. And people will go, "I like batch 6, or
Oh.
batch 7."
Yeah.
Just as much as they say, "I like the 7-year" or the.
Yeah.
So you said this one's batch 13.
Mhm.
How high did the batches go?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know,
There's like a really nice
but not that high. Right.
Okay.
There's a nice dark cherry note.
All right. So,
Brian's my big drinker.
yeah, he's not. But so, Hard Truth and Quaff On and Big Woods come together. Why a pizza restaurant? By the way, I love Big Woods Pizza.
Thank you.
Why a pizza place of all food joints?
Well, we're in that little place in the back of the alley, right? And we couldn't get enough people in. The only complaint we had was that can't bring our kids, and you don't have enough seats, and I can't possibly get in on a Saturday.
Yeah, right.
Right. So the lady next door who owned the building that we're in there I think she was 73 at the time. And one day after a couple of years, she came and said, Jeff, I think you should buy my building. She said, you're the one to take it. I'm ready to retire. And it was a mall, right? It was a little inside mall.
Okay.
It had 8 different shops. So over a period of a couple of years, we migrated people out, but it was just.
I remember when that was a mall.
Yeah. Yeah. And when we thought about what people there at Nashville would like, we like pizza, but everybody likes pizza, right?
Lots of people do.
So we jumped right in with pizza.
Dude, it's so good.
And you know what? Pizza is fun to make, right? I mean, there's a lot more to it than, or can be a lot more to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Depending on how much you want to get into it.
I feel like you're going to talk.
Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah, there's a nice like leather and nice tobacco note, like in the finish, and you get this really nice chocolatey cherry note. This is really good.
I think most of the whiskey in that batch tends to 5 years.
Hmm. That's very good.
Yeah.
There's a little thing that some friends have a podcast called Whiskey Tequila Fridays, and I need to get your stuff on this podcast. What they do is one of them's a whiskey hunter, brings a great whiskey, and he's very knowledgeable. The other's the tequila guy, so he brings a great tequila.
Right.
And they do it. They taste the tequila, they talk about, they taste the whiskey, and they talk about, and then they do this thing called a quick sip.
Right.
So they do the glass of whiskey and the glass of tequila, and you'll nose the whiskey, taste the whiskey, and then before the finish is done, you nose the tequila and taste the tequila, and you see what the tequila brings out in the whiskey. And then they talk about that. Then they go the opposite direction.
Right.
Then they'll nose and taste the tequila, and before that's gone, they'll taste the whiskey.
Sure.
And then they'll say, which way did you like it best? And every time it's they're almost always like opposite, or they're shocked. That, oh, I liked it this way the best. But if you do it, the way the one spirit affects the other spirit in both directions, the flavors are amazing. Like, they're just crazy what they do to each other. Because what you eat before you drink, what that all affects what you're tasting and smelling. So it's a really neat experience.
There are a lot of things. You reminded me of a couple things, because part of it's psychology, but part of it's neural pathways, sensory stuff. And you know, that whiskey wins a lot of blind competitions. Doesn't matter who it is. And they're all great whiskeys. So say there are 5 of us in this blind competition. 4 of them are sour mash.
Okay.
And it could be, you name it, great whiskeys.
Right.
But in blind competition, we compete really well. We win more than our share.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not because the other 4 aren't really great. I'm convinced that it's because sweet mash is just a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think what resonates with the judges, whatever, is that they, it's just in the back of their mind. They just remember the one that was a little different, because
Right.
they're all great.
Yeah.
But there's one that's a little bit different.
They're all great. It's hard to distinguish, but there's one that's just slightly different.
Yeah. The other thing that you made me think of is with barrels.
Mhm.
We sell a lot of single barrels now, whether it's to retailers or collectors, private people, whatever. So we're selling a lot of barrels. We do a lot of tasting of barrels. And a lot of times they'll bring in 5 or 6 people to taste the 3. Typically we'll do 3 barrels, up to 5. And what I keep track of everything, right, for fun. The second barrel wins more often than any other
No
barrel.
kidding.
Interesting.
It really does. And I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's just luck, but
It's really cool that you say that, because I do this in tequila and taste single barrels. And we just went down and tasted 8 barrels. One of them will be an añejo single barrel that comes out
Right.
this fall. And a lot of people liked the second barrel. Now, I liked barrel number 7. And when we went back through them and we did tasting notes and talked about them, 2 and 7 became the 2 most popular barrels out of.
Someone needs to do a scientific study on this.
it's really interesting.
Yeah.
So we know that. And a lot of times we think we have an idea what would be the best barrel for
that group.
Yeah, because we know what they sell in a restaurant, for example. Or, those things make a difference. So I kind of say, if there's a barrel you really think this group will want, you're better off to make it number 2 than to try to convince them if that's not their first choice.
Good research right there.
All right.
Well done.
The blind changes your whole process of tasting a spirit, because you come in with a preconceived notion of, I like that one better.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a great example, I did a blind with Pappy 15, Buffalo Trace, Weller 12, and Blanton's. But I didn't know what they were, right? I just tasted through them. I went Weller 12, Buffalo Trace, Blanton's, and Pappy's last. And I thought, if I would have known what they were, I would have probably said the Pappy's better because it cost 2 arms and a leg. But in the blind, Buffalo Trace and Weller were really close. And back then, Buffalo Trace was $20 and Weller was $60.
Right. It's there's an article, and I don't know where. It's just something I saw that I haven't read yet. To my pile of stuff to read. It's all about the psychology of that,
Mm-hmm.
and with the changes that are happening in the whiskey world now, it's how long will that psychology hold that you'll pay that much for a bottle
Right.
based on the name? Right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a big switch that's happening in all spirits, right?
Yeah.
Every spirit is changing.
Yeah.
But I think, and tell me if I'm wrong, when you have a local brand like you have, and people know you as a great spirit, but also local, don't you think that gives you a better foothold in this market at least?
Sure. Absolutely. In Indiana, folks are very loyal to all things Indiana.
For real.
Right. I mean, and with us, it's Doug Miller from Brown County who grows our corn, right? Doug grows our red winter wheat. And, when we tell the story, people say, okay, so the grain's from Indiana, you guys from Indiana, you're doing it here. It's water from from the aquifer nearby and that kind of thing. Yeah, they want to like it, right?
Yeah.
It's like going to the theater. What do they call that? The theater, the willing suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, people want to like it. It's great. Right now, I like to be at the tour center on Saturdays, and I love to, just like talking with you guys. You guys are great. I love
Thanks.
talking with people, right, and seeing what they think. But I also like to be like the secret shopper, So if I don't want people to know who I am, I don't wear my Hard Truth jacket, or my Hard Truth hat, and
He comes in with all the Jim Beam stuff on.
yeah, my dirty jeans, whatever.
Carrying some
And-
red stag.
Yeah, and I just listen to, there'll be somebody who say, "Oh, yeah, they're pretty good for Indiana, but it's not like Kentucky, right? It's not like Kentucky whiskey." I love to get a conversation where, I don't tell them they're wrong, but I help them see the truth,
Yeah.
the hard truth.
Very good.
Yeah.
How many states are you in now?
Well, it's 36.
Wow.
Yeah, I think last time when Brian was here was probably 30. We picked up
Somewhere
a few
around there.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay, I have a
Yeah.
question for you. So you've had a lot of success. You've done a lot of things in your life. I want to say thanks for your service as well, because that's
Appreciate
amazing.
it.
If you could go back and look at your 25-year-old self in the eyes,
Gee, busting out the questions.
what would you tell your 25-year-old self that you wish you would have known then today?
Well, almost everything, right?
Almost everything. Yeah.
I mean, part of the beauty of being 25 is that you don't know,
Sure.
right? And you'll do some really stupid things, right?
Yep.
The thing, I guess, seriously, when I was 25, I was already married. I already had 2 kids,
Right.
right? I mean, I married my high school sweetheart. She
Still married to my high school sweetheart.
very cool, and we got engaged when I went to Annapolis,
Okay.
right? She actually moved out to Annapolis after I was there 2 years just to make sure I would graduate. Right? She said, "I've got an investment in you." And
Nice.
And she sacrificed a lot for us to be able to do the things we did.
Sure.
So if I could think about what I had known then, what I would like to know then that I know now, I think I'd just like to appreciate her more.
That's awesome.
That's really good. Yeah.
All right. So I have another one, another deep one like that.
Boy.
So now that you have created this business and you've had this success, who, and this person can be alive, dead, famous, whatever, who would you most want to sit down with and pull this whiskey out and share it with them and tell the story of where you are today and have that conversation?
Well, that's not a hard question for me. My dad passed away several years ago.
Okay.
Right. And before uh yeah, we were in the beer business, but before 2014, all that
Sure.
stuff. I would love to be able to tell him about it and have him see what we've done.
Yeah.
Right. Because he always said we could.
Right.
Right. He always said, every time I said, I don't know if I can do that. He said, you can do that.
Wow.
Right.
That's
I mean,
cool.
And same for my mom. She would do the same thing. Just I can't think of anything too unreasonable that I mean, I'd propose to do some crazy things. They say, well,
You can
good
do
luck.
that.
You do
You
it.
can do it. Right?
You
awesome.
in our extensive pre-show research, which involved talking to you when you walked in the door.
And drinking his products.
And drinking products, of course.
I mean, that's really important.
You had mentioned some sort of a rating that you guys had just been given.
It's crazy. So, and I've got to thank everybody listening, right? We was about a month and a half ago, Newsweek picked a list of finalists for the best distillery tour or experience in the United States. We made the cut as one of the finalists, the top 10, and we were in there with like Woodford Reserve, Maker's Mark, Buffalo Trace, Whistle Pig, just a great list. And it's really people's choice. So from there, people had to go to newsweek.com and vote. And I know you guys voted, and I appreciate it. We got notified yesterday that we're it. We're the number one.
That is fantastic.
That is
distillery
fantastic.
experience in the country.
All right. Now, for those who have never been there, what experiences are there available there in Nashville?
Well, first of all, I got to say, it's this beautiful 325 acres.
It's amazing.
In the
Truly
woods,
is.
rolling hills,
It's
right?
great.
And we didn't screw that up.
Well done.
Yeah.
There's not much concrete, not much asphalt. It's a beautiful place in the trees. Remember, we had a contractor who came in to bid on doing some of the site work, and he said, "Well, let's cut the top of the hill off flat, and it will save you a lot of money." And that was the last conversation.
See you later.
Because everything's different levels. But when you get there, you've got a great place to eat, right? You've got a staff that's really happy to see you. I really think that's part of the story. A big part of the story for us is that the people who work there are really proud to work there, and they really want you to have a great experience. But some of the things that I think set us apart, we've got this great whiskey, we've got great other spirits. I mean, we appeal to just a really wide demographic, because if you think about it, when you guys go, does everybody really nerd out on whiskey in your group? No. A lot of them, they want that Lost in the Woods drink, right?
Right.
With the toasted coconut rum or something like that. And
or they want beer.
Or they want beer.
I will say this, Brian and I nerded out. But we talked process.
But you bring people with you, know,
Yeah.
and so you want to appeal to a wider race. So we've got things for everybody to do. The music, live music.
You have like a natural amphitheater.
Yeah,
honestly, the way that's set up.
Nobody wanted to contract that for us.
Why?
Because it's steep, right?
It's wonderful.
And we built those terraces. We did it ourselves.
Really, Red Rock is steep.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, steep is how you get that sound. How that guy can sing way down there and everybody can hear it.
And you've really got to see it.
Yes.
You got to see it in your mind. So, most popular tour is the Get Lost tour, right? The ATVs. We drive.
Did that one.
And 4 drink stops in the woods, and they're themed.
I haven't done that.
Oh, it's cool.
We need to go make
We're going.
We got to go make content.
So we make a really good gin.
Okay.
So we've got a gin joint in the woods. It's really like a prohibition area, like a pop-up party.
Okay.
Right. It's just a shack in the woods that's got chandeliers and stuff in it. And you drink gin there. Right.
All right.
And one of the other stops is Beer Bluff, where you drink this beer.
Yeah. Sitting on a swing, going over the bluff.
Right. But to give you an idea, we have families, we have the whiskey aficionados, and I think our Inside the Barrel tour is as good as anybody's.
Haven't done that one yet.
Well, that's where you go thief a barrel in the rack house, and it's more exclusive. And
you ever show like the cooperage and how they burn the barrel inside the barrel? That's a cool tour.
It's actually one of the new things we're doing this year. Cool. We've always talked about the barrels, but Brian doesn't mind telling you what he does with the char and the toast.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to be able to do what we do.
Right.
Let them do their own thing. But so we love to get into that. This not just the science of that, but it's really about how that affects the flavor, right? And how the way we toast, you can get that liquid.
And it's very cool to watch them do it.
Oh,
to watch them.
Yeah.
I've watched them redo barrels for the tequila world. So I've never seen the new barrels done. I've only seen them redone.
Yeah. Well, you're actually we're now getting some barrels from West Virginia Great Barrel Company, because they've got great oak in West Virginia. and they've got a new video that we're going to be able to show on the tour. Just a quick one that kind of takes you inside what they do. And, we've got that little smokehouse where a lot of the barrel stuff will be. So that's in addition to the tour. But part of the secret too is you always have to change, right?
Yeah.
So we've got the tiki boat out there.
That's right.
Right.
Haven't done that yet either.
Where else can you go on a tiki cruise?
In the middle of the woods.
In the middle of the forest in Indiana.
Yeah, exactly.
I
That's
think
fantastic.
we're it, right?
So my wife and I, our first time a few years ago, we had signed up for the ATV tour. And we had hit several establishments in Nashville prior to making our way to Hard Truth. And so we stumbled our way in. And the whole time I'm walking around Nashville, I'm thinking, how am I going to drive an ATV? I've had way too much to drink. And then we show up and someone drives you. You just get in the ATV, take a tour, get more beverages along the way. It was great.
And we've got the best group of tour guides we've ever had.
Yeah, he was fun.
Most of the tour guides now are folks who were customers first.
Oh, yeah.
It would
That's
be
awesome.
like you saying, Jeff,
Yeah.
I want to work here someday.
You know what? In my retirement, I might do that.
I want to share the experience. But we've got a couple who are school teachers.
Oh, see?
They're actually awesome because they know how to
Teach.
manage groups.
Yeah.
Too, right? They get people.
They can yell at
So
people.
consider this my application. I taught for 20 years in Center Grove. My wife has been an educator, now administrator in Perry Township for 30 years. So we're going to come work there in retirement. So
I love it.
my official application.
Kind of like the Wizard of Oz, right? You just have to say, I want to do it.
There you go.
Click your heels. And, everybody who's working there is having fun or they don't stay.
And I said this to Brian when he was on the show. I've been there 2 or 3 times. I've never had a bad experience with people who work there. And twice we've sat at the bar. And the bartenders are knowledgeable and super friendly and generous. And that's actually, when we met you, the reason we sat at the bar was because we had such a good experience doing that last time.
Yeah.
And I have nothing but good things to say about visiting Hard Truth in Nashville. So.
Well, that's where we like to hang out at the bar. We meet great people, right?
Wow.
When we started to tell people yesterday about the Newsweek thing, we had people crying.
Oh, no way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they just thought it was so great.
That's great.
Right? They're proud of what they do.
That's awesome.
Right.
I'm not going to come teach, but I would love to partner with you on making a great agave spirit. I would say that.
We need to talk about that.
Yeah.
Make that happen. Right? We've got some great barrels.
Well, I know where to take those great barrels too.
Very cool.
Okay, so Nashville location, and there's 2 technically. Then there's the one at the garage. Right. There's
Speedway.
one in Bloomington, Big Woods,
yeah,
Big Woods Pizza and Hard Truth in Bloomington,
downtown Speedway. And I know you don't know that Speedway
I've been there.
town.
No, I've been there
there's
twice.
A race that goes on and all of that stuff,
Dude,
but that is amazing.
Speedway is kind of the big horse, right?
It's a big one. Big restaurant.
It's a huge restaurant, and it's our best vanity project, right? That timber frame inside.
Yes, so cool.
Oh, it's great.
I love it. Everybody loves it. Just for trivia, so you can impress people. 1,841 wood pegs.
Okay.
No kidding.
No, there are no nails.
1,141.
No nails.
1,841.
841 wood
pegs holding that frame together.
That's a take.
We love it, and we'll never do that yet.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's another.
Yeah, you don't want to try to emulate. You don't want to emulate that.
And what a great location, just down the street from Speedway.
Yeah,
Motor Speedway, that is.
So you did that early. Like, did you have the vision that Speedway was going to do what it did and really transform that little town to what it is today?
I'll give a guy named Ian Nicolini credit for that.
Okay.
I forget who he's with now. He's in Indianapolis now, but he was a part of that redevelopment commission that really got all that started. And you're right, they weren't done yet, right?
Yeah.
There were a couple, Daredevil was building,
right,
but hadn't built.
Delar wasn't there yet, right?
Delar wasn't there yet. And, we had to make a bet, right, that it was going to work out. Because I went down, did a tasting down there, beer tasting down there, one Friday night, and a young guy named Ian was there, Ian Nicolini. He called me Monday and he said, "Hey, I'm on the redevelopment commission. We've got a piece of property we think that would work for you." Right. And,
Okay.
that was the corner, 10th and Main.
It is great. It's a great facility. The food is amazing. The drinks are amazing. I've a lot of musicians that travel into town and play like an 8-second saloon.
Yeah.
And so we always take them there to eat, and they're always like blown away from the of the place and food. And then, back to 8-second saloon where you hope your car doesn't get stolen. But it's always a great time.
I'd love to hear that. Love to hear that. The bar's proportional to the track. There's 66 seats around it instead of 33.
Are you serious?
Ah, oh yeah. We did a lot of interesting little thing. If you look on that concrete bar top, there are car parts. Those are Sarah Fisher's car parts.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Right. Lots of neat little things.
Like if you know this trivia and you come in, do you get like a free drink? Or
Oh yeah,
anything?
sure.
Okay. Yeah. he said so.
I am
Tell
bringing
him
a
Jeff said
clip
so.
of the show. Look what Jeff said.
Yeah. It's pretty, but every year that gets better and better.
Yeah,
Right.
it's very
So good.
A lot of the race teams love it. AJ Foot loves the pizza.
That's awesome.
Right. He calls up, says, "Bring me a pizza."
He's always so sweet, isn't he?
Yeah. Bring me a pizza. Right.
Okay, so we've hit all the locations that I know of. Are there any that we missed?
Up in Noblesville.
Noblesville, okay.
146th Street, Hazeldale. It's that's Big Woods Hazeldale.
Oh, I didn't
Okay.
know there was one.
Right.
I don't get that.
Dude, I've been
I
on
don't get that part,
146th
right?
Street
And
multiple times this
we're at the Outlet Mall in Edinburgh too.
Okay, I did know that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there was a Big Woods location in Franklin at the golf course that I know just closed up.
Yeah, they're gonna. The owner is a friend of ours,
Hmm.
and he's gonna put a steak restaurant in there. Always wanted a steak restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah, very cool.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So are there any coming soon locations, future locations you're thinking about?
Well, there will be. I just don't have any to talk about.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's nothing to share.
No worries.
Nothing to share.
No worries.
He shared a lot already.
But be confident.
All right. I
Right.
feel confident about it.
I feel like I'm going to be able to do more stuff tomorrow just because you were here.
I want to go run through a brick wall, as
I
it
love
turns
that.
out.
I don't have
Love
any.
that.
Oh, we do. We have one right there.
All
Right through
right.
that brick wall.
What else you got for Jeff?
Man, I want to say thanks. Thanks for everything. Like that you put in this work with our country, that you were so focused to build a business like you built and have a vision and then be able to make that vision happen. And also it's really cool to meet somebody that's still married to their high school sweetheart and made that work, because that is so rare.
That's rare.
48
And,
years.
48.
Congratulations.
Wow.
That's great.
We're 11 behind you. 30. We'll be 38 this
Bring
year.
it on.
So
All right.
that's really
I will
cool.
hit 29 this year.
I think it's awesome. So thanks for coming up here and doing this. Thanks for the whiskey, and thanks for sharing all of your knowledge. I appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you guys. Really do. It's just so much fun to be able to do what we do and make new friends and keep friends, and we all grow and change. It's just a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, to you, we'll see you next
Cheers.
time on Indiana Success Happy Hour. Cheers over here and over there. Thanks for watching. Cheers.
It's Brian and Brad, grab your seat. Real talk served with a boozy beat. Tune in, don't even blink, 'cause real estate makes us drink.